Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Radio Show, a once proud member of the now defunct Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Our co-host is that fantastic vampire Adrian Miller. We pick up the pieces of a show where we were already missing a guest co-host, and now we're missing our guest. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We just finished talking with Larry Hankin. A lot of fun there. I'm still in here with Adrian Miller.
I'm still here.
You're still here. You did not get blown away in the snowstorm.
I can say I have not gone MIA yet.
Right. The winds of Danville, Illinois, have not blown you away.
No.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I have to mess with you.
So.
But we have Russell Rapp getting ready to call in here shortly, I hope. And we'll have fun with that. It was fun talking to Larry. Again, let me tell you guys about the show this Saturday, Upstairs at Moe's. It's Upstairs at Moe's is the name of the bar.
Upstairs at Moe's.
Upstairs at Moe's.
It's not just some creepy guy's attic.
It might be.
You're probably going to get murdered.
It might be, but it's at 128 East Broadway Street in Granville, Ohio. This Saturday
tarp.
at 8 p.m. Bring your own tarp and chloroform, and
and black bags and duct tape.
Right. Bring everything you need. It's going to be Jody McDermott, Kim Sherwood, and Homer Shadowheart performing at that show. I told him I'd push that a couple times because I tried to. See what? Well, that's what happened. I tried to get, I tried to get some of those. I tried to get Jody on because she's on the show. I tried to get her on after Charlie canceled, and then after we found out that Autumn is in Jamaica. And since I said it again, I'm deducting another point just because I said it again. So that's it.
Gross.
The nerve.
Who needs vitamin D and tans?
Yes, exactly.
Not me, says the vampire. Not me. Not going to be a pile of ash. Not on my watch.
Exactly. Yeah, that would vampire. You would not last.
Yeah,
very
someone
well in
again
Jamaica.
today. The guy I worked for was like, "This house would be perfect for you. It has a jacuzzi and an in-ground swimming pool." And I'm like,
Nope.
No,
Wrong.
I am a vampire, and I would burn so bad.
If it had a dungeon and a casket, I'm in.
Yes,
Yeah,
if it had
there
someone
you go.
who was any kind of dungeon, really.
Right,
I mean, that's what I call the two coal bins in my current abode. I tell people I bring children over. There are so many nieces and nephews, not random children from the street.
You said coal bins?
They're coal bins.
Oh,
yeah.
do tell.
You know what a coal bin is?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're two coal bins. Apparently, they went hardcore on stocking up for the winter at this particular house. So they had two entryways where they would stock up almost like a third of the basement with coal.
Nice.
Apparently, and they went ham on it, and
they went ham on the coal.
It was
I'm going to write
1930.
that down because that may be an episode title.
Ham on the coal.
Going ham on the coal.
But now it just kind of looks like I have two random dungeons that I keep captives in because there's just these doors and they're all walled off. And you're like, it's like, what are those? And it's like, this is our dungeons over here. And one of them doesn't have a light in it, and it still has like the coal dust on the walls.
Nice.
So it's just a dark.
I know my brother's
dank
house has a coal chute down into his crawl space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They blocked them up with those glass block things. So, but it does not illuminate, especially that one dark one. It just really, and it does leak a little bit.
So it's a good place for your casket.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
do you have to sleep on the dirt from Chicago because you're from Chicago?
Yes.
Do you have to carry that with you and sleep on the dirt?
Yes, specifically Park Ridge. Yes, I have to only sleep on Park Ridge soil. That is my place of birth. Obviously, being a vampire, it wasn't called Park Ridge then. It's a long Native American. You won't remember. It's fine.
Okay. Well, yeah, because this was long before
French,
that was.
Yeah. It's either it's the French name for the fort settlement that was there. But
okay. So you're not, even as a vampire, you're not really that old because it was still if the French were there at the time.
You have to rub it in. It's not polite to ask a vampire's age.
Well, no, I didn't ask. I was
but
just
you're
going based on historical facts.
Sure. I know. I probably shouldn't give you so many details.
Right. You're giving it away too.
I am. And my other vampire friends really tell me that I should just be more aloof.
Right.
That's what vampires are known for. Cool. European, but I dropped my French accent.
You're a very chatty vampire. That's
I
that's
just
why we
love
like having
people.
you on the show.
I love people. I love
you're
people.
You're a people
I
pirate,
love them.
vampire.
I love them. Love them.
Excellent.
They are so good. Especially my coal bin late at night. Snack.
There you go. Well, yeah.
Some people are
you take them
snacking
down
and
to the
they're
coal
snacks.
bin. Do they go willingly? Do you have any?
Oh yeah, I live down the road from 2 bars.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
And they have cheap drinks.
That's perfect.
Cheap old drinks.
Well, yeah, because that way when you drink their blood, you get a buzz too.
Oh yeah, that's
perfect.
That's sort of like people are always like, oh, I can't eat anymore, I can't drink anymore. I'm like, dummy. You get a hit off of what they just consumed like less than 24 hours ago, and one of them's a Mexican place, cheap tacos.
There you go. There you go.
We didn't have tacos back then. In all this way up north.
Since you're just drinking their blood, do you get the taco flavor in that? Does that really flavor?
Yeah, well, it's like
it
on the skin a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right,
They're kind of marinated.
Right.
It's like a light marinade.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
like a
makes
dry
sense.
rub marinade, depending. Sometimes with my D&D, I get a little Cheeto dust. kind of in there.
Yeah,
it kind of adds a little little taste of something. That's about all I can say about that.
So you have
that
dungeons and you're a dungeon master.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it is. I am kind of living my best life.
Setup.
I mean, I didn't expect in Dayton, I didn't expect
Who
that
knew?
here.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought like Cincinnati maybe. Whoa, what was that?
It was the Mountain Dew talking back to me.
It wasn't.
Okay.
You weren't scared because it
I
was
think
getting
I
too
think
open.
he got a little scared.
It was a little
about
spook.
that. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's
Not
hoping
wood.
you don't have a taste for Mountain Dew in the blood, and that's the way.
I mean, a lot of geeks. I
Well,
do
yeah,
the
that
do.
would. Yep, you would have to. Yeah,
Osmosis.
I only do it on Tuesdays before before Don's show.
you only do. Yep, you got to get all hopped up on Mountain Dew to be part of this show.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Russell hasn't called in yet. He does not have enough dew in him.
True.
At this point.
True. I mean, as much as getting like a buzz from the bar people, getting a buzz from like the early birds is really really nice. The ones who got they got their coffee just going to the Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
But it's really tough.
Yeah,
It's really
so
got to swoop in before the sun comes up, though. That's the thing.
That's true.
It's really
that's
kind of.
true. Yeah.
I love the pumpkin
risky.
spice.
That's you like the
Sometimes
the
I
thrill
like
of
the
that.
danger, and I think that's why I look forward to pumpkin spice season, because that's when the sun starts going down late enough, or it comes up. It's hard because I live opposite of everybody else.
Right. Yeah. It's
going. The sun is coming up later, and I can finally get a hit off of that sweet, sweet caffeine and pumpkin spice. So when it's like pumpkin spice season comes around, I'm like, I get my extra silent Uggs on,
Now, have you ever?
Uggs?
Yeah, extra silent. Yeah,
Right.
I've
you
put
gotta
like
you gotta be. They're sneaking.
they're
up.
soft. They're basically like ninja slippers.
Ninja
I mean,
Uggs.
Kind of
yeah,
like what I'm wearing today.
yeah, exactly,
right.
exactly. It's comfy.
Oh, I thought those were socks.
Nope. Well, they
Exactly.
kind of are, but
Well,
they
yeah,
got
but they have soul.
They have
Patrick.
soul.
They have soul, unlike me.
You got socks with soul.
Unlike me, as a vampire,
Right,
I don't
'cause you're a
have
vampire.
a soul.
Yeah,
But
perfect.
yeah.
All right.
But you can get up early and you can get that early worm, so to speak.
Yeah, the early worm gets
and then you're like, woo, and then
the
I can't
worm?
get in the casket. You know what I mean?
right, yeah,
Yeah, like, lying in
you
the
don't
casket,
want to
like,
get
ah.
you don't want to get all hopped up.
But I
on
can't like get up
caffeine
and do
then-
anything. It's kind of a curse. Like it's to get that little buzz, but then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go watch a show. Oh, that's right, I'm a vampire.
Right,
But I just
exactly.
bring my phone in now. I mean, that's what I cannot speak. This era, guys, underrated. Everyone always complains about this era, and it's a tyrant or something taking over. But you know what? There's always been some tyrant taking over. Let me tell you, literally, there was a civil war. Okay, it was not great. I mean, it was great for me because, bodies go missing and nobody notices. But I had some times. Okay, it was great. But it wasn't great for you, flesh folks, and
flesh folks.
yeah.
I wasn't even born.
Yeah, we're
yet,
not.
So
Yeah. Oh, thanks. You're such a baby. That's the only reason why I haven't murdered you yet. It would be cruel and unusual.
Yeah.
I have ethics.
unusual.
I have
punishment.
ethics. I would not eat veal.
Really? Well,
I mean, I don't
that's
now.
cap.
Obviously, it's an
Yeah,
easy.
that's-
Yeah, you're like a veal.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, some of us
You're
have
like,
things. we
Patrick
just-
is like a little
veal.
milk.
Yeah, it's like being a
little
pescatarian.
milk-fed veal
It's
On
like
coal.
on coal. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a
well,
dew-
you'd be down in the coal chute in the coal
a dew
pit.
a dew-filled boy. That's what he is.
Right.
I guess
yeah,
I made-
not milk. You're dew fed.
I mean, sweet. People tell me delicious, but I just it's like being a pescatarian. I just
Right.
I'm
That's
like, no, there's
little
like a
fishy to
cutoff
me.
in age. I just feel like you should live a little. I like a nice aged blood. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm not everyone's into it, but I like it. I like little cancer cells
You have to
floating
open
around
them up
in
and
there.
let them breathe a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like a,
And the thing is, if
like
they
a fine Merlot.
if they're
yeah.
too young, you open them up and the blood just goes spurting
Oh, yeah.
everywhere. It's
It does,
a
it does.
mess, and then it's.
I mean,
it's
I'm not
runs
a
dry.
vampire, but I'm a serial killer, so I get it.
Yeah, so you get it. You've been at Moe's. You've been in upstairs Moe's place, right?
Dang it, Applejack.
Who?
Applejack, don't you remember him? He was one of your killers as a serial killer.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were going to talk about
We
upstairs
all
at
missed
Moe's
him.
again.
Yeah.
And that really the reason you're pushing it so hard is because you're Mo.
Captain
Right.
Crunch
You're gonna
is
be
next
waiting
on
there
your
with a
hit.
train. Chainsaw.
I'm dragging him in.
Captain Crunch is next on your hit list.
There's
that's
a
for
cover.
No,
sure.
I'm not a fan of semen.
That's great.
That's wrong.
Is that another show title?
I'm not a fan of
Let me
Seaman.
write it down since we don't have Russell yet.
Captain Crunch? I'm not a fan of semen.
That was great.
I gotta make sure I spell that correctly.
I did have to Sunday I DM'd. It went pretty well. I had to play a Nothic, and the Nothic is likes flesh. It'll be paid off with flesh. It knows things. It's gone insane. But I had to mimic eating people more than a few times.
Wow.
Because they decided, we'll bribe her. Well, him. I guess it was a guy. I don't know. Gender neutral, really. Who knows what a giant eye beast is?
Right. Yeah. They're
it's hard
pretty
to-
much gender.
Who
neutral.
knows?
Yeah.
But it was. But they kept feeding me people.
I guess it's preferred
try to get
pronoun.
information.
I guess its preferred pronoun would be I.
Yeah, I. Just I.
Just I.
Yeah, but that was their trying to bribe me not to kill them / help them. Was anytime they would kill someone in another room, they'd come drag it back to my crevasse, my home, my crevasse.
I think dragging it back to my crevasse. Is
My
Another
crevasse.
one.
And and then I was like,
That's great audio right there.
yeah.
That should be a
I'm
sound
gonna
effect.
loop that at the end
Yeah.
of the show.
It really
a
hurt
sound
my
effect.
voice, though. I'm not gonna lie, because not that part, but because I didn't know what voice I was gonna do. What was it?
You should combine that sound effect with a loop of Holly's ha ha.
Yeah, yeah. That's our own. That would be.
See,
We have to create our
Holly
own
Shock has agreed
trademark
on
monster.
March 10th when Autumn the Hatchet Hatcher goes up against Scotty Powdered Donut Maze.
Are you
And
gonna
then-
have a bracket for this?
What's that?
Are you gonna have a bracket for this? Is this like March Madness?
We should put all of the guest co-hosts to compete with each other.
Now, how
We
do they
should just-
win?
That would be great.
How do you? Is it like whose line the points are made up and they don't matter?
Exactly.
I got fake
Basically-
euros you could give out as points.
Basically, at
Do
the
you
end of it, I'm going to give my golden cock to whoever I want.
Just don't give it to the Seaman.
Right.
But no semen.
Right. No semen.
You know, Seaman has a pet named Swallow.
I remember that. Yes, that was a great episode of South Park, right? Yeah, but Seaman. Yep, come swallow.
Come, Swallow. That was the
That is
greatest
just
line.
wrong. That is just wrong. Should we hit some news stories?
Yeah, let's do it.
Since we may
Let's
not.
do it.
This is a late entry news story.
Whoa.
That after I already printed the news before
Oh.
I was leaving the house
Breaking
this morning,
news.
I found this one. So this is actually breaking news.
Breaking news, folks.
Out of Louisiana.
Out of Louisiana.
Out of Louisiana, which is close to Florida. It's
Yeah,
swampy. It's swampy and nuts.
It's
Yeah.
nearby. Yeah. Yeah.
Louisiana woman allegedly caught with meth hidden in her vagina says she didn't know where the drugs came from, police said. Ashley Beth Rowland, 23 years old, was accused on July 31st of stealing $5,000 from the apartment of a man she'd been staying with for about a week.
Oh,
according to documents published by the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office. Parish Sheriff.
I think you got to say it with
the
the
Parish
right
Sheriff's
accent.
Office, yeah.
Parish Sheriff's Office.
The man told the West Monroe Police Department that while he was showering, Rowland swiped his cash and left. Rowland allegedly confessed to the police she did take the man's money and left his apartment. The document said a female corrections officer later searched Rowland and inside of Rowland's vagina discovered $6,233, along with a clear plastic bag of roughly 1 gram of meth, which Rowland denied was hers. I'm holding it for somebody else. Rowland was arrested and charged with theft and narcotics possession. Online records from the sheriff's office state as of Tuesday, she remains behind bars in lieu of an $8,000 bond. $8,000 bond.
Is this your Tennessee comes out?
Yes. No, an $8,000 bond, which she was almost able to cover with the cash in her vagina. So that's very convenient. Yeah,
I've
she had to
heard
raise
of
the rest.
It's the most expensive vagina I've ever heard of.
Yep, she to raise the rest, she started to go F me again. I didn't want to say the rest of it. So yeah, it's not mine.
People losing a tampon.
What's that?
I've heard of people losing a tampon
up
their vajayjay, but
right, a gram of meth and $6,233.
Yeah, I mean,
this guy had a lot of money laying around his apartment.
That's some change between those couch cushions.
Yeah.
I think that's the other end.
I mean, wow, that's that. You know, in D&D we have an item. What is it called? The bag of holding. It's an interdimensional portal. It's bigger on the inside. It can hold unlimited things.
There
Are we
you
sure
go.
She doesn't have a
that's...
vajayjay of holding?
Could very well be.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a whole house up there. There's
a whole house.
I don't know, a weapon cache.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if she can
potions. I mean, Beth obviously
there's
is the type
probably
of potion.
an entire bank. She was just making a deposit.
Yeah.
She was being responsible. It's a
she was
savings
saving
account.
it. It was a savings account.
Exactly.
The interest is, the little bit you get once a month.
Just be glad it wasn't a sperm bank that she has.
Right. I'm sure there's one of those up there too.
That's
probably the biggest cash she has. Is this?
When you're looking for a loan, you really just need to go to this woman's vajayjay and make a few rounds.
Right.
Inside. Be
where
like, hello,
where do you put your ATM card?
Now, believe it or not, real story.
This wasn't a real story. Are you saying this wasn't a real story?
What I'm about to say is a real story.
I feel like anytime you say it's a real story,
so
we're going to have to check.
It was
Snopes.
in the news. There was a woman who got
in this
a
day
deer.
And age, we're going to have to check
Fake
Snopes.
news, yes.
There was a woman who got a deer tongue stuck in her vagina, and it started rotting up there, and she had to go to the hospital.
Was the deer still attached?
No, it was just the tongue.
A peanut butter experiment.
So apparently, her husband was a hunter and hunted a deer head, and she cut off the tongue and tried to pleasure herself with it, and it got stuck up there, and it rotted up there a little bit.
That is some psycho shiitake right there.
Yeah.
That is, I haven't been keeping up on The Walking Dead. #spoilers.
That would be the licking dead. At that point.
But here's the thing. Apparently, Negan made out with. There's this woman who's part of some group, and they wear walker skins as faces to try to blend in. So they basically skin a walker.
When you say walker skins,
zombie.
I think just decorations for old people.
Yeah, no, not as adorable as that.
Got a new walker skin. Look at this.
You're thinking of something adorable. She's taking zombies, skinning their face off, wearing it as a hood so they can blend in.
So only slightly
adorable. And so she's wearing that, and Negan and her taking a little frolic out in the woods. And start, getting all sexy time, and and she's like,
as people do when they frolic in the woods. And she's
like, "Do you want me to take it off?" And he's like, "No, actually, I kind of like it."
That's kinky.
And everyone was like, the gifts the next day were people destroying their TVs, just being like,
"Hey, don't
I'm sorry to spoil
don't
The
knock
Walking
anybody
Dead for
else's
the 10
kink.
people still watching. I
Yeah.
think this is their jump the shark moment, personally.
I
I had
think-
to do a whole dive to be like,
yeah,
what
I've
is
never.
happening?
I watched like the first episode and I had enough. I really did. It's just something I couldn't get into.
I think the first season was pretty good, and
I think
you know,
see, I'm a maintenance tech, so when I see that this guy's waking up in the hospital
Oh.
like weeks and weeks
Oh, I
after,
know.
and the electricity's
No.
still flickering, but
No.
there's no power
I'm with
anywhere
you.
else, and everybody says, "Well, they got emergency generators." It's like, yeah, even with 20,000 gallons of fuel. If
Somebody
it was
has to
completely
be.
full when that happened, because I test generators,
Yeah.
I work in medical
Yeah, you work in a
facilities. That's what
hospital.
I do. It's not going to last 3
No.
weeks. It's going to last at the most 2 days.
I've had
if
the
they
same
have a huge
question, and I'm
tank out
like,
there.
okay.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's when I see something like that, it's just like, and I'm done. I'm out. I can't do this.
Are there other things your profession has, like other not your life, obviously it probably has, but are there shows and movies that your job has ruined for you because you know too much about the basic?
There are a couple. I mean, even I don't know. I don't say ruined. Scrubs. I liked Scrubs until I started working in a hospital, and it's like, okay, they're calling this guy a maintenance man. He's a janitor.
Yeah.
That I'm a maintenance
Yeah.
man. I don't mop a floor.
No,
Not going to happen.
no,
I fix things.
no. It's like when people
Fact,
call
I-
me a ghoul.
fact, I
It's
get-
like
right.
all
That's
undead are not
correct.
the same.
No, not at all.
Please do
at
not
all.
call me a ghoul.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, BT dubs, that's a slur, okay, in our community. So, anyway.
BT dubs.
I try to stay up on the lingo.
Right.
You know, I
No,
gotta
you
trick
gotta
those
do
young
that.
college
You gotta
students
do that,
occasionally. The ones that are over the line and appropriate age. You know, the ones who are taking their 5th year. You know, their mommy and daddy sends them. Those are the ones, preferably.
I wonder if Russell's going to call in fashionably late like Derek did a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you do the news story about the Russian propaganda station?
I
in
don't
Missouri?
think I did.
My mother sent it to me because she was like, "This would be great for Don."
Do you have it? Do you have it handy? Do you want?
Yeah, let me pull it
Okay.
up. In the,
pull it up. Pull it up. Whip it out.
Whip it out. Whip it out. I'm
Yeah, we're
going
killing
for that
time.
golden cock right now. I'm going for it.
Yeah, all right.
Gotta find my mom's texts.
The golden
Okay.
cock and the $6,000
Yes.
vagina.
Yes. There you go. Well, there you go. That's
It.
Vegas, baby. No.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what I was going to say at this point.
I don't think I want to know how expensive vagina is out in Vegas.
Okay. Well, yeah. Some things you just don't have. You don't have to know everything, Patrick. Some things you can just imagine. You can just imagine $1 vagina in Vegas. That's they probably have meth stuffed up there too.
Well, here's what she said.
Okay.
Did you see Radio Sputnik transmitting Russia messages from Missouri, U.S.? U.S. radio announcers, Russian propaganda, and from Missouri might be interesting for your radio.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
it's
There you go.
apparently they have like Sputnik has bought radio stations like in randomly in Missouri, just like the United States has like America Radio or whatever it's called.
Right.
Yeah, abroad, I guess they're doing the same thing here to have like pro-Russian, sort of like RT media and stuff like that. I don't know if you ever end up on that.
Yep.
And it's flagged a lot of times now on
okay,
YouTube where it's like, this is sponsored by the Russian government. They do that also, I think, for like Al Jazeera. They'll be like, this is like they're the major investors is the Qatar government.
Sometimes
Oh,
they do
okay.
it for Canadian news agencies too.
Yeah, exactly. It's not.
Oh, yeah,
it's
those
not
Canucks, you gotta
necessarily. It's. I'm just saying it's across the board.
It's too friendly up
It's,
there.
yeah, it's far too friendly, eh?
They're like, oh, we got to disclose that this is funded by the government.
Yeah. Oh, the Canadian government's paying for this, eh? We'll
We are
be
so
okay,
sorry.
though.
We're so sorry.
We're sorry. We're real sorry. We're real sorry to have to break it to you. Somehow slipped into Irish there for
I
a
can't
second.
do it.
I know,
I can't
right?
do it either. I don't. Like, when I hear a Canadian accent, I'm like, Canadian. That's what that is. Usually because they say a boot, and then I'm like, what?
That's what it's all about.
A boot, and I'm like, what? But oh, this is a Canadian. I thought they were an American. You almost got me. But
All right,
then you
we're-
said about.
I guess we're going to have to we take a break, Patrick.
I guess
It's,
we are.
Yeah, it's that time. So what have I got? Potter's Field, a peaceful man. Hit it. We'll be back shortly with maybe just us, maybe a guest. News stories either way. News stories for everyone. Check under your seats. You have a news story. All right, Patrick, get me out of here. I'm stupid.
camel dicks.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the live radio show. We're researching if they have glasses with rear view mirrors because I'm paranoid about who's coming up behind me.
Yeah, you never know. There might be a serial killer right behind you in that window.
Aquafina.
Aquafina.
When you're about to be chased by a serial killer, every last girl trusts the brand Aquafina. The best tap water you can find on shelves.
It gives you superpowers.
Yes. It gives you wings.
Fight off those creepy men behind you.
Yep.
There you
You'll
go,
be the
there
one
you
who
go.
outruns, and holds a vigil for your fallen friends.
Out-hydrates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Out-hydrate.
Out-hydrate your enemies.
Aquafina, call us. We have so many ideas for your next
Aquafina.
viral campaign.
Out-hydrate your
I
enemies.
think you mean drown them.
Right, exactly.
That's right.
Well, that's overhydrate.
Yeah.
Well, see, that would be the sequel to that ad. Would be
Right.
Yeah, it would be drowning the person because the last
In-
girl always has to
in
come back and
Aquafina.
finish it. Right.
Yes.
The first film
Or
you
tap water.
survive. The second film is the one where you come back and there's like new campers and they're all dying. But now
Right,
you're like, no,
exactly.
we have to take him out this time.
Perfect,
I'm the only
perfect.
one who knows his weaknesses, and I will not stand for more teenage blood.
All right, let's hit some news stories since there is still no sign of Russell. That's a wrap.
That's right.
That's a wrap.
So I
We're on
found-
to
I
news
found the
stories. If
news
it calls in
story.
now, I'm not even asking it. Huh?
I found the news
Well,
story.
I have one on here that I want to do.
Oh,
This
okay, yeah.
was I found this one in because Charlie was supposed to be on, and she just
I know.
she just took her car in to be cleaned and had to make a note to let the guy at the car wash know that there was not a vibrator in the glove box because apparently she traumatized a young man not too long ago. So a Colorado condominium owner said this week that she had to spend hundreds of dollars and lost about 2 months' worth of rent in an effort to evict squatters who left behind underwear, dirty dishes, a snake, and sex toys.
A snake?
What?
I'm more interested
underwear,
in the
dirty
snake.
dishes, a snake, and sex toys. Sarah Feldman told Denver Fox 31 that after the tenant broke their lease, another woman moved in without her knowledge and refused to leave. She was being difficult. She didn't want to leave, Feldman said. There was her and two guys I've never seen before. After a month, Feldman got a lawyer and obtained a writ for the Denver Sheriff's Department to evict the squatters. There were guys' underwear all over. It was just really disgusting, Feldman told Fox 31. There were sex toys found in the condo as well, and that I did not want to touch. Were there sex toys that she found that she did want to touch? Is I guess
Is she paying for is she asking for emotional damages? Is that
it
what
should
this
be.
is all
Should
leading
be. That,
toward?
I would definitely
like
say
I have a
that,
snake
yeah.
phobia.
Right.
I
Well,
also had to touch.
Well, she didn't seem to be worried about the snake. She was afraid to touch the sex toys, which makes perfect sense to me.
The plot twist is they were using the snake as a sex toy.
I would imagine,
I
at some
so.
point. Yes.
Yeah. Though a part of me, the first part, I was just like, oh, this just sounds like a young 20-something's crash pad. There are men's underwear everywhere
Yes,
on the
yes, that's-
floor. Used, disgusting, had not been washed in who knows how long from the
How do they
stench.
know they left the snake, though? Is it a snake?
They
Maybe
just-
it's Colorado. It could have come from somewhere else. How do they know that they are the ones that left the snake?
That's true. Maybe the snake
My
is the
guess
third
it had like
round of
my guess it
squatters.
was still coated with Astroglide or something.
He came up from the toilet and just decided to walk into the
Right.
room.
I was
Right.
gonna say
It
just
just
another-
slithered in and said, "This is my kind of place. All the underwear and sex toys."
Lots of
it's over
underwear
there
and
hitting
sex
on
toys.
It's over there hitting on a sex toy, thinking
Because
it's a very
another
Yeah.
snake.
thinking it's another snake.
I'm pretty sure they got rattlesnakes. They got rattlesnakes in Colorado, right?
Oh yeah.
That would be
Right,
the
like, ooh,
that would be the
baby.
vibrator.
Yep. Yeah, if they left the rattlesnake. Nope, it's a vibrator. Oh, yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what happens in Colorado.
Stays in
Well,
Colorado.
you know what? And that's
Stays
what
in that
happens
condo.
when you legalize weed.
Exactly. Yep, snakes and sex toys.
The horrible consequences of legalizing weed.
Yep, they were absolutely. Reefer Madness was absolutely correct. It
This
was
would be-
a historical document. It was not a
I was
propaganda
going to say,
film.
this would be the Reefer Madness documentary of 2020. It would just be a bunch of really lazy
Yep, it would be
20-somethings.
men's underwear, snakes, and
Just
vibrators.
unwashed men's underwear, a vibrator,
Yep, that's
and a snake
and a
just randomly makes a guest appearance.
Yeah,
And you'll never.
probably not that
And
random.
if you're watching it, you're like, is this part of like a dream sequence that's supposed to like symbolize like, or is this real? And I can't tell. Very avant-garde.
Yeah.
And they're like, Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness. That's going to be my avant-garde film. I'm going to just put random stuff together and call it art. That's how I'm going to get out of this town, Don.
I think that is art, though. Just random stuff.
Random
put
stuff
together,
thrown. I think that's
Yeah.
actually why I've failed as an artist up to this point, is things make too much sense.
That's what it is.
I try to have
yeah.
like thought and purpose
Yeah,
and intention.
that doesn't fit in the art world.
Craft.
Right.
You know?
Right.
No. I got to like Banksy this. I got to like draw a mustache on a public figure.
That's
mural.
all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch out, public figures. There's an election season coming up, and there's going to be mustaches on y'all, and I'm going to make it my gallery exhibition.
Perfect. Speaking of deer tongues,
She's a
Patrick,
gallery exhibitionist.
That's right. That's right. Catch it at the next gallery opening.
Gallery?
Gallery opening.
A Texas man who was critically
Happening in
injured
New York
when
on
he
the
veered off.
street.
What's
On the
that?
street. I'm going with the exhibitionist. Sorry.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
was
That's
just
fine.
sorry.
A Texas man was an exhibition. No, a Texas man.
Speaking
A
of.
Texic. He's a Texic.
Texic.
Well, I
He's
mean,
he's Texish.
an exhibitionist man would have the hat to be able to cover himself up with. Maybe.
That's true. Well, it's yeah.
Maybe. But you ever heard about Swiss Cheese Man, right?
Swiss cheese man.
Didn't he come from Wisconsin?
Switzerland.
Switzerland, that works, too.
there was some serial flasher, and his thing was a while back was he would ask a young woman to come over. Hey, check this out, and he would just be like in his car, and he would just have like Swiss cheese on his penis.
What?
Okay,
Like,
was
so-
like stuck
was
through
it-
a hole? Is
Yeah,
that-
something
I was
like
about to
that.
say,
Yeah.
that's that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like a serial. It was
Wasn't
like a
baby
thing he
Swiss.
did a lot. And
It could be
Because
baby
that's a
Swiss.
whole other charge.
true.
A Texas man
Anyway.
who was critically injured when he veered off the road after crashing into a deer was able to phone 911 himself despite being impaled by a 2-inch metal rod, according to his family.
No. Was this a cyborg deer?
I think so.
What?
Yeah, well, the deer had broke a hip,
deer-
had a little
I
prosthesis.
just picture the deer comes out like,
Yeah. It had a walker.
and then
As
he's
an
like
older-
the really awkward animatronics, and he's driving late at night, and he's like, oh god, and it just looks at him like T2 like T1 style, and just like a red eye.
Yeah,
But then
Jake
like
Tabor.
T2 style, it just liquefy metals like his antlers.
There you go. Yeah.
And just goes through him.
Jake Tabor, 25, was driving to work in Willis. What you talking about? But just 50 miles north of Houston on Tuesday around 4 a.m. when he struck a deer on Highway 75 North near Shepherd Hill Road and lost control of his car. Tabor, a pipe fitter, that's fitting,
Okay.
crashed into a fence and was impaled in the abdomen by a 2-inch pole.
Yikes.
That's really not that much to be impaled by.
Yeah, I guess that's why he's able to call.
I'm thinking it's like a fence post, like 2-inch.
You ever seen Buffy,
diameter,
the
'cause,
Vampire Slayer, like the end
Because
credits?
you don't get impaled by something that's only 2 inches
no,
long. 'Cause
no,
it had to have been the
no.
girth.
You
that
get a
got
real
him.
permanent
Because
piercing.
sometimes it's the girth that gets you, Patrick.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I was picturing an end of the Buffy Slayer movie, like with the vampire being stabbed, where he's
Is that traumatizing for you to see those?
I mean, if it's done comedically enough, it's all about like the joke, right? Whether it's in
Okay,
good taste or
okay.
bad taste. If it's funny, hilarious. In fact, it's more hilarious because it's kind of cathartic because you live in such fear of it. But when you see, I think it was Paul Rubens, just writhing around for the entire end credits, basically. Like where they'll do or he's just like, ooh. Like he was killed in the last scene, and then it's like, oh, he's gone, and they cut away, and then it's in the end credits. It's him still doing like his long extended
I don't
death
remember
scene.
that. What movie was that again?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Okay,
the movie.
I
when I was
have
a
not
kid,
seen it.
that
I have
was
not
the
seen it.
fun-
I did not
died.
know. I did not know that Paul Rubens was in that. I did not
Yeah,
know
he was
played a vampire.
I believe he was. So he was the funny vampire.
Right. The Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. But he was just like ooh ooh and then be like he'd done. He'd be like yeah.
Now I saw an episode of Son of the Beach with Gilbert
goes
Gottfried
on and
playing a
on.
vampire. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
He had a death scene very similar. To
Yeah,
that.
that's the best way. That's what I picture. If you have a small, that's the thing. Some people the girth is what gets you. As you've
I think
pointed
the
out.
girth is what gets you is also a possible show title.
Bigger isn't always better, but sometimes bigger is more humane.
That's true. The girth is what gets you.
If you care. If you care about our vampire feelings, don't stab us with toothpicks.
Right. Yeah.
Don't stab us with
just,
chopsticks.
Oh yeah, that's pain. That's just repeated pain.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
what?
acupuncture. Well, it could be relaxing, but not. I guess.
I mean,
How does that work? Because if it's a toothpick, it's still got to hit the heart
if
to
it
do
hits
any
it
good.
exactly right, if it is wood and it hits the heart, I mean, unlikely. But maybe if it's a good, wood skewer, you would use for like cooking
Okay,
meats,
yeah. I
you
got
can maybe get in there if you aim it right with enough force. I mean, maybe.
Yeah. So just like a good kebab skewer.
You gotta kebab that shriveled heart. You gotta kebab it exactly.
There's so many episode titles. Kebab that shriveled heart.
Get it in there.
Man.
And then it's ash time, but
Then
it
it's
takes
ash
longer.
time.
That's the thing. If you get a good girthy steak, and you really plunge it deep. You really plunge it deep and hard in there.
Plunge in the
in
girth.
fact, I would say you might want to do a few thrusts with the steak.
Right.
In
Well,
and
yeah,
out,
you got
in
to
and
make
out.
sure. You got to make sure.
Yeah, get it in there. Get
Now
some
the
leverage.
hammer method is that because I'd imagine that would drive it through quicker.
See, but
because
the problem with that is you could be off. I mean, we've all hit you've hit your hand with a hammer, right? Like where you have a nail.
So if it doesn't go through the
then
heart,
you
you're
have
just
a Paul
going to.
Rubens death is what you have.
Oh,
where
that's
actually
rough.
don't
That's
die, but
rough.
now you got to get it out, and now you're just sitting there like, ooh, why? I was in the middle of, I'm still binging something. Couldn't you wait till I was done? Because I'll probably be in my cat. I think that's a classic way to go, right? You're in your casket and they wait till dawn. Maybe I shouldn't be giving you tips on how to kill vampires, but
You're my co-host. I can't. You're safe. You're safe with me knowing your
Okay.
secrets.
I mean, you're
now
the
if
only
you
ones
ever double cross me, you're in trouble.
I'll just move to Cincinnati. I know you don't go more than 20 miles from here.
I go all over the place.
You go all over the place?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If it's
no.
to take revenge on a double crossing vampire,
Oh, no.
I will travel the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well, that changes No, at least wait till I'm done binging my shows, okay?
Okay,
I'll
that's
just
fine,
put it out
that's
there.
fine,
Just
that's
don't,
fine,
don't
that's
binge, don't stab the vampire when you're in the middle
Right.
of,
You don't
of an
don't
HBO
want
show.
to mid binge stabbing.
Yeah, like be like, oh, I'm one season away. I'm 2 episodes away from the end of Game of Thrones. Please.
Oh yeah, that would be the cruelest.
Well, no,
that would be the
I just
cruelest
did you
of
a
fates right
favor
there.
I was
because of
gonna
the
say,
last episode.
Yeah,
in that
it was
case.
pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that would have been the way to go, to live in the hope and dreams of what Game of Thrones could have been.
All right.
I mean, I do have to say though, the way she murdered all those people, delicious.
Speaking of
Spoiler
which.
alert.
Speaking of which, we got I do have to cover
I
this
don't know
Florida
what she.
story.
There's a couple murder she's in that show.
Police in Gainesville, Florida. Hey, don't close
Florida. The Tennessee's just roaring out today.
Yeah, it is. It's belching right out. Police in Gainesville, Florida, are investigating after a contractor doing work on a home Monday discovered half a dozen jars containing human tongues inside a crawl space beneath the residence, reports say.
Explain this.
Police were dispatched to a home near Northwest 16th Avenue after receiving a 911 call that human remains dating back to the 1960s had been found in the crawl space of a home belonging to the ex-wife of Dr. Ronald A. Ballman.
No.
According to the Tampa Bay Times, once on the scene, investigators found half a dozen plastic gallon-sized jars containing human tongues, Chief Inspector Jorge Campos told the paper. He said the labels on the jars dated back to the 1960s. Ballman, a world-renowned pathologist and former University of Florida professor, told WCJB that he had obtained the specimens as part of research and brought them home with the intention of using them for additional work. He stored them in the crawl space because it was a cool area. I'm calling BS on that one. That man's a serial killer. That's
Like, how can you forget about the tongues for that long?
I think he knew about him. He was moving out because it was in the home of his ex-wife.
Yeah.
She kicked him out, and he's like, "You're keeping the tongues
Yeah.
because they're going to find him, and you're going to prison." That was a revenge tongue lashing right there. He left his wife with the tongues.
That doesn't make a lick of sense if you ask me.
Yeah. I just hope she wasn't the one that had the deer tongue problem that we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
I
was
gonna
thinking the
say,
same thing.
I'm kind of thinking the other way around. I mean, is there something? Isn't that? It sounds like that's the thing women want most.
The tongue?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I wouldn't doubt
some
it.
good tongues.
It's between the tongue and the girth. That's what it's
They're
all
like, I
about
don't need
right
you.
there.
I
yeah.
have these tongues in the basement. Get out.
Exactly.
She's like, I'm keeping the tongues.
Yeah.
I'm keeping them.
Now,
That's the only thing good you got. I'm keeping the tongue.
I want to know if the tongues were well
They're
preserved.
vintage tongues.
Vintage. Yeah, they're vintage tongues. A good quality aged tongue
Yes.
from the 60s.
Yes. She's like, that's what I like.
Those are hippie tongues.
Yeah.
And they'll do some stuff.
Yeah. Stuff that your
Yeah.
tongue won't do.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
they
that.
ain't afraid to get freaky.
No, they
they're
are
letting
not
their
afraid.
freak flag tongue fly. That's
Or fry.
or
I don't
fry
know.
or fry. I don't know what she was doing with them.
Who knows?
I've had beef tongue. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe,
it's a thing people eat.
And apparently, deer tongue is the thing people do other things with.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know if this guy had a cat, because if he had a cat, then the cat's got the tongues.
Yeah.
So many negative points. I feel like if I was
Yeah,
host of the show, I
You
would've-
were never going to get the golden cock like that.
I don't need the golden cock because I got the tongue.
That's true. Oh man.
Are you going to have a loser trophy?
I'm going to think of something to give Scott to give the loser.
I should
It's got
get Don.
name.
I should get another one of those toy screaming goats, and that should be the loser trophy.
I still have that. We
Yeah.
could give the screaming
Yeah.
goat as a consolation prize.
Yeah.
A participation goat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get the golden cock and the participation goat. We've already named the episode. That doesn't come out till March 10th.
The goat screams when he sees the golden cock.
Oh man.
It sounds like a weird prophecy.
Oh my god!
Yep, it does.
The goat screams when
Did
it
you
sees
say the
the
pearl
golden
is in the
cock.
Man.
You're like, what?
Where-
I asked you about my love life.
Ooh, this is weird. Not your love life, but
I mean,
I don't know.
I have overshared a little.
A woman has undergone brain surgery while playing the violin to ensure surgeons did not damage the part which controls fine movement of her hands.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dagmar Turner. What a name.
Dagmar.
Dagmar Turner, a 53-year-old management consultant and passionate violinist from the Isle of Wight, had a tumor removed at King's College Hospital. She was worried she may lose her music skills, so she suggested she be allowed to play the violin during the operation. Professor Keomars Ashkin, a consultant neurosurgeon at the hospital, came up with a plan to reduce the risk. Surgeons mapped her brain, opened the skull, and then got her to play the violin as the tumor was removed.
Yeah.
Did not know that you could be awake while you're having brain surgery.
Oh yeah, they do all the time. Actually,
That is weird.
They'll probe your brain. You can watch it. There's tons of footage of it, but they'll do weird stuff. Like that's how they know partly what controls what is because they can, if they electrically, just a little tiny electric shock, they'll stimulate different parts of it. And sometimes you'll start like laughing, or like you'll be like, "Wow, I smell like turkey" or something, and they can tell like where things are.
That's very
in your brain. So yeah, they probably what they did is
because usually I forget where things are in my brain.
yeah,
That
I'm
would
like
be very
open
handy.
me up, electrically
Yeah.
stimulate where my keys are.
Yep. Where the yeah.
But yeah, I find
Maybe
it.
I'll find the
That's weird.
tongues that I hid away for
Yeah,
30
yeah.
years.
Yeah,
I forgot
where
about
those tongues are.
You should know as a surgeon. You should just got his neurosurgeon buddy to
There
just
you
open
go,
them
yeah,
up and figure out where they are.
No, I think he still knew. I think he.
Yeah, you don't forget.
Yeah, you don't.
Vintage
You don't
tongues.
forget vintage tongues like that. When you get a hold of a good tongue, you
Yeah,
tend to
you
remember.
You remember. I find it telling that she's a management consultant. It sounds like a very management consultant thing to do. That you manage
Yes,
and consult the neurosurgeon
Right.
about
She's
how
a
to
micro.
do his job.
That's a micromanagement consultant.
Yes,
right
exactly.
There. Yes.
She's like, you're going to open me up.
Yep. You are
I'm
not going to
gonna
mess
be
up my
sedated.
violin hands. I am going to keep an eye on you
Even
while
though
I play
I'm a
this here violin.
53-year-old management consultant, I don't think Juilliard is calling. I
Well,
gotta preserve.
The problem is she started out with Mozart and she ended with The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Maybe they did it better. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
they
that's
just
all
were
she.
like,
She just
they're
does
like,
bluegrass now.
Daggy,
That's all
you
she.
go, you
Yep.
go, girl. That's the kind of brain surgery. Is there brain surgery that can make us funny, Don?
I would hope. There has to be something. There has to be
me
something.
open, just electrically stimulate different parts
Because
of my brain.
I'm looking at the screen here, and I am the only viewer.
Yeah. Yeah, I shared it. I shared it this time. I will tell you, I shared it instead of having a watch party because it made some people nervous as soon as it goes into the watch party mode.
Oh, yeah. I never
they're
look.
watching.
Yeah.
They're watching me.
Yeah, I never
And
look at that.
So I'm like, okay, I'll just share it.
Just,
Fine.
yeah,
You can lurk
sometimes
and
you
be
just share.
weirdos out there. That's right. I called you out, anyone watching.
Yeah. A New Hampshire police chief.
That's okay. I'm a weirdo, too. I know how it is.
For anybody, this is going to be the last one, but for anybody who has a job where they have a uniform, this is something we've all wanted to do at some point. A New Hampshire police chief stripped down to his underwear and walked into a snowstorm after being stripped of his duties. At a local board meeting Tuesday night. Richard
That's
Lee.
great.
His name was Dick.
Oh, Dick Lee.
Richard Dickley.
Dickley.
He was very Dickley that
With
night.
the golden
Dickley.
cup.
Is that a Swiss
the
cheese
girth.
you're wearing?
It's the girth that
It's
gets
the
you.
girth.
Richard Lee was the police chief for nearly 20 years until a 3-member select board voted to rely solely on coverage from the New Hampshire State Police during the meeting. He worked. They should have had coverage for his uniform.
Yeah, they needed more
Yeah.
coverage. That's really what he was
the
protesting.
That's the problem. He worked part-time as the only member of the department, which covers the town of Croydon's roughly 700 residents. He was told to immediately turn in his gun and uniform, as well as the keys to his police cruiser. So Lee took off his gear before the board chairman. I gave them my uniform shirt. I gave them my turtleneck. I gave my turtleneck. That sounds really bad right there. I gave them my ballistic
Yikes.
vest. I sat down in the chair, took off my boots, took off my pants, put those on the chair, and put my boots back on and walked out the door, Lee said.
Well, at least he put his boots on.
Well, yeah, it was a snowstorm.
I mean,
You know, kind of like the one that's got somebody trapped in Danville,
Yeah.
Illinois.
yeah, Charlie, be sure to always wear your boots.
Yes, exactly.
I don't need to tell
If
that
you go
it's an
out in your
Illinois
underwear,
gal, but
if you strip down to your underwear and go outside, be sure to wear your
at
boots.
least wear your
That's-
boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got
Which oddly enough,
antifreeze
knowing
in our
Charlie,
veins.
there's a good chance she's doing that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a nice snow bath. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Roll
You
around,
gotta
yeah.
you gotta make the occasional nude snow angel. That's all there is to
definitely.
it.
It's really good for the skin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do it face
And
first.
the lower
that
back.
way, yeah.
You know, that icy.
I do it face first. That way. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. That's just weird.
I was going to say, is that what you
facial.
say when the
Yeah, I'm
cops
gonna
find you?
snow facial.
Is that what they say when the cops find you at 2 a.m. when you stumble out of the bar?
Yeah, that's happened
No,
before.
I'm
Yeah.
making a snow angel.
That's happened before, but it was
officer.
in the middle of summer, and they did not buy it. It was
Face
more of a
down?
mud angel, actually.
I was trying to become
Laying
this.
there,
I
I didn't purposely
Artist.
set out to make a mud angel. I was trying to get back up.
Officer,
That was just the end result.
officer. I'm a comedian.
Yeah, I'm a
comedian.
comedian.
A comedian.
I'm a
This
comedian.
is funny.
I used to be a 2X.
This is
I'm
real
a
funny.
Comedian.
Will you tape me? Are you taping? Are you taping this? Are
Yeah,
you taping
this needs to go Facebook
Can you
Live.
can you
This-
send me a link? Can you send me a link?
Yep, I want that on my acting
I want my
reel.
reel.
I'm going to use this for my audition.
Exactly. That's my new audition tape. Because I'm going to audition for a movie with Russell Rapp.
Ah, there you go.
There
'Cause,
you go.
You don't have to be there for it.
Apparently, he does.
Russell,
he does this stuff
we'll
so remote.
We will
He
reconnect
doesn't
later
even show
because, And here's the funny thing about this. He's on this time zone.
Really,
So
it's
we
not
can't,
even like a math issue.
Right. We can't use the excuse, different time zone. But nope,
Yeah.
here it is.
Nope.
And here's the thing. Mercury is in retrograde.
That
right
is
now.
true.
That is
true.
That is true. So a lot of times appointments just don't get kept.
That is
So
true. For
nothing
people
against you, Russell.
who
These things
believe in the
happen.
fake science.
Yes.
Yes.
Trees
Trees are God, but
Well,
astrology.
put it this way. I had 4 people booked on this show, and only 2 of them made it.
Yeah.
You and Larry. That's it.
Well,
That's it.
Mercury is in retrograde. It's
There
as
you
good an
go.
excuse
There you
as
go.
anything.
Yeah, Well, that's a good way to let
I'm
folks
sure that's
off
what
the hook.
Bloomberg is blaming in his campaign on right now. His
I think
debate
he should
performance.
blame his performance on Bloomberg. That's really.
I mean, but
Yeah.
he's probably gonna. He's gonna be like, "Look, guys, Mercury
Yeah.
was in retrograde.
Yeah.
Come on,
I really should have won that.
I'm spending $500,000 on this. Okay, $500 million.
Does
Sorry.
anybody want him there?
Spending the $6,000
You know.
from the
Yeah.
The meth vagina.
Yeah, he's,
That should definitely be donated to probably Bernie.
I was going to say, that's probably going to Bernie's.
Wow.
Donate Bernie
Let's be honest,
vagina
that's going
money.
to Bernie's campaign funds.
Yep,
He could use it.
I've heard of boob
That's
money.
right.
That's the first time I've heard of a
JJ
JJ money. Oh.
There might be a little tongue in there, too.
Bank of the
Hey,
JJ.
you should probably bleep this, but I was going to say pussy bucks. That was
We're talking about a cat, folks.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's up in the kitty.
Yeah, well, that's what the P and P&L report stands for.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, Adrian, hey, thanks for making it in.
No problem.
Because this
No
last
problem.
hour would have been really weird if it
I-
was just me.
I don't have a life, and other than my dungeons,
Well, yeah. It's good to get out of the dungeon now.
It is
and
good.
It's
It is
dark
nice to get
outside, so
out.
you're going to be safe going
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Now, some of the random passerbys might not be safe with you out
that's
there.
true.
but, yeah.
I mean, that's also, I'm not going to lie, that's part of the reason I like coming up here.
Perfect.
You know?
We'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, that drunken young bloods.
Right. But yeah, the drunken sailors.
Yes.
You gotta go out and get your nightly
That
semen.
is correct.
All right.
What's this about the sea man again?
Seaman.
That's what I said.
All right. Yeah, I think, hey, Patrick, I don't say this enough. Thank you for producing this show.
Thank
Where
you,
would we be
Patrick.
without you?
I
Well,
would
you're
be
going to
nice
find
this
out
time.
next week.
We're going to find out next week.
Because I'm going to
Because
Wisconsin.
did you get Shay? Is Shay going to
Yes,
be in
Shay,
here? Okay.
Shay, the sports director, is
Shay is going to be in
produce
here
it.
next week. Adrian's going to be back. Lana
Yep.
Reed's going to be in. We're going to get a call from Lisa London. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be
Hopefully
a lot of fun.
he doesn't turn your mics on too early, and then you get another one of those.
Right, get another
moments.
cuddle. Well, Scotty won't be here, so it'll be. I should probably deduct another point for that. Just
What, from Scotty?
why not? 'Cause
Just
he-
every
he
time
won't-
we
yeah.
mention it.
Just
He
every
hasn't
time I
given you a
mention one of
cuddle
them,
yet.
one of them gets cut a point. All right. We're being alerted. We
Oh,
better get out of here.
okay,
Patrick,
okay.
take
Woo.
us home.
Get us
Thanks for
outta here.
listening.
Get us
Tune
outta
in
here.
next week. It's going to be a great show. And don't forget, March 10th coming up is the Battle of the Guest co-hosts with Autumn the Hatchet Hatcher and Powdered Donut Scotty Mays.
That's going to be
Patrick,
great.
hit it. Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we are on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM. You can also stream the show live at wwsu1069.org, and we go Facebook Live at the Life Radio Show's Facebook page. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence.
$6,233